going, everybody? It is nice and sunny out. It's pushing 60, 65 degrees, give or take. And I'm going up into the mountains to go exploring. Let's go see what we can find. Basically, the first site that I want to check out, it just shows on the map that there's a prospect site right up the hill. Man, it is nice out. I can't believe this. See behind me, there's a definitive game trail. Climbed a little bit of elevation. Some snow still on the mountainside across the way, but you can't even see it. But the road was right over there, the old cut that I was following. And all this hillside looks a lot like a combination of erosion and some surface digging, but straight ahead you can see where the cut continues, and now it's mostly just turning into a game trail. The cutout is right here where I'm standing. You can see where there's the slide area. It's hard to tell but where this tree is, but I think it looks like it continues on through this thick brush, and there is a big flat area straight across. Between the thick brush and the angle of the hillside, I don't think I'm going to make it through to there. That's one possible that I'll just mark off the map. I'm back before the slide erosion area, so it would have kept going on through. One thing that caught my eye is right up here's another flat spot amongst the trees. Not really anything out of the ordinary. Huge divot right here. Any number of things. There is a bunch of exposed rock on this side. Right down there is the cut that I was following. You can obviously see signs of game, but it is a pretty specific spot. I didn't go near the divot, I stayed up above it in case there's that random chance that there is an opening underneath all the pine duff. So I'm gonna make my way back down the hill, back down to the truck, and then we'll keep climbing up the road and end up behind me up there. But let's go see what else we can find. Wow. So I was climbing up the road, which is on around the bend on the other side there, and I noticed awful lot like a tailings pile, doesn't it? Old cart line. I don't know if it'll show on camera, but it goes around underneath the ground and then it comes up and it goes all the way down. But definitely tailings. Somebody's obviously been cutting wood. Oh yeah, there's tailings right over there. Somebody's been cutting wood because there's tons of fresh sawdust. Well, I thought there'd be more here. Inside the thick brush, there is a big flat area. There's a ton of downed trees, some older, some newer. You can definitely tell some had been dropped here, but even across the way, there's a flat area there too. It's hard to tell what would be recent trails and activity and what would be the older remnant stuff. But right below here, there's what I thought was a draw, but there's a chance that it's overgrown and it could be a portal there. But it is flat right up above. You might be able to see that on the camera. Anywhere along this hillside, there could have been something. Somebody left their axe. I'm going to leave that right where it is. There's a sign a bit further up the road from where I parked saying no camping on private timberland, so that belongs to somebody. But right through here would go into that, what I thought was just a draw or drainage ditch. But that would be right level with where we're standing as far as right over to the tailings. But that is a large sized tailings pile. On the other side of this dry brush is more of that flat area that I saw, and it continues over. It actually goes back over that way. Now the only thing is, I'm quite a ways up from the truck. I'm guessing right where all that new growth is where there'd be water coming out. And I bet you straight back in there in all that thick brush is where the portal used to be. I don't see anything on the ground, but it does go back a ways. And that would make sense, because then it would be all right here would be somewhat level. And then they would just take it and dump it. There is some timber down below, but I mean, this is a huge tailings pile. This is one of those things that wasn't even marked on the app as being a prospect. In the satellite image, you could see the exposed earth. Behind me over here, it's all level. Somewhere up in that hillside, somewhere right there would have been a prospect, because that is a massive tailings pile on the other side of that tree stump. Goes even out over to this side. Old cabling, old wire down there, some newer stuff obviously, but that was the tailings pile that I walked over to, and I mean, it just goes all down the hillside. And there's some way over there too, so I don't know, one of those cool mysteries of the backcountry, but I've never been over in this area, so that was kind of neat to see. All right, let's go back to that road I was on. Let's keep climbing up. Wow, what a view. See snow way off in the distance. Well, I was following another cutout that looks like it goes right above the site that I was at earlier, and I'm hitting snow. I do see some exposed dirt off in the distance. I definitely can't get through with the truck. There was just no place to turn around. I ended up having to reverse all the way back. Not a big deal. I'll mark it on the map. I just didn't want to reverse all the way in, so we'll come back to that one when the snow's gone. Down there amongst the dirt and all those branches, there's noticeable old cabling down there. I just happened to notice there was a little bit of water flowing across, working its way down the hillside. Just figured I'd double check, nothing showing on the map. You can hear and see water trickling up there. I just want to double check in case there was a random portal or something. Well, you can see the snow beside me, the truck behind me. I've hit where I'm going to stop on this road for now. A little bit further back, I was able to cross some of the smaller little drifts because they weren't that wide, and a couple of tires on exposed rock, so I figured I'd eventually hit it. You get into the curves in the trees or into these spots on the shady side of the hill and just won't be able to push through on my own. Totally fine, wasn't expecting to, but yeah, even if I made the turn, it all snow. So beautiful day out though. I have gotten people ask before if I feel disappointed if I don't find any of the sites that I'm looking for, or something like this happens, or I get up to a trail and can't make it through or something like that. And honestly, no. I mean, you take a look around, it's beautiful out, there's a little bit of a breeze, there's still some snow. I mean, it's April, so completely expected, but surprised how far I got, at least on this one. So I'm gonna make my way down and we'll see what else we can find on the way. Alright guys, I'm just heading back down the mountain. Still on the 2-track, you can see behind me here, but I'm almost back down to the road. When I went up this road today, I wasn't expecting to find any sites or tailings piles or anything. It was just a couple of notes that I made when I was looking at one of my maps. Alright guys, I'm back on the road, just heading down to town. Thank you so much for following along on this one today. I love finding those small sites like that. There wasn't a portal, there wasn't any structure. There were a little bit of remnants like timber and some old cabling, and that one had some rail cart line, but I just love being able to find stuff like that. And like I said in my last video, the snow's disappearing, so that means we'll be able to keep going further up and further out. So even more mine site and history videos coming out soon, hopefully. Thank you guys so much. If you like what you see, please like and subscribe. Comment down below. We've got a bunch of new subscribers on the channel, so I appreciate that. Very happy to have you guys follow along with us. So that's it for this video. You guys stay safe out there. We'll catch you on the next one. Get out there and explore.